Robb Stark died at the Red Wedding. His throat was cut. His army was slaughtered. His wife was murdered. And the world moved on. But the old gods, they don't move on. They remember. The North remembers. And right now, in the heart of a frozen weirwood grove, something is waking up. The snow is melting. The roots are shifting. And a man who was murdered 400 miles away just opened his eyes.
Today, we're not asking if Robb Stark could come back. We're asking what happens when he does, how it happens, who helps him, and why the moment he returns might be the most dangerous moment in Westeros since the Long Night. And I'm going to show you something about Robb that even book readers miss, something that changes everything. Let's begin. There are actually 3 ways Robb Stark could return. Let's break them all down. Method 1, the Red Priestess. Thoros of Myr brought back Beric Dondarrion 6 times. Melisandre brought back Jon Snow. The Lord of Light clearly loves resurrecting people. So why not Robb? A Red Priestess finds his body, speaks the words, and Robb Stark lives again. Problem? The Red Wedding wasn't a natural death in the eyes of R'hllor. It was betrayal, murder. And the Lord of Light doesn't usually fix what humans break. Possible? Yes. Likely? Not really. Method 2. Faceless magic. Arya trained with the Faceless Men. She owes them a death.
What if, instead of killing someone for them, she traded Robb's life, gave the many-faced god a death in exchange for a resurrection? This is actually the most common book theory, and it's compelling. But there's a problem. The Faceless Men don't bring people back. They serve death. That's their entire religion. But the third method? The third method is the one GRRM has been hinting at for 30 years. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The old gods, the Weirwoods, the North. And a power that Robb Stark had that no one else remembers. Stay with me. This is where it gets interesting. Here's what most people forget. And I mean forget. Robb Stark wasn't just a king. He was a warg. His soul could leave his body and enter animals. He was bonded with Grey Wind, his direwolf. But here's the thing about warging. The body doesn't die when the soul leaves. It falls into a coma, becomes a shell, and the soul lives on inside the animal. So when the Freys stabbed Robb, when Catelyn screamed, when the music played and the slaughter began, Robb's soul didn't die. It left. It flew into Grey Wind. And Grey Wind? The freaking directional bomb. In the books, Grey Wind didn't just die at the Red Wedding. He was shot with crossbow bolts. Bolts that came from the direction the sound came from. Which means Grey Wind was looking for Robb, trying to find him.
He knew something was wrong. He was moving toward his bonded rider. And that is why the Freys killed Grey Wind first. Not to hurt Robb, to stop the wolf from finding the king. But here's what they didn't count on. The old gods don't let Stark souls die. They wait. They watch. And when the time is right, they bring them back. So how does Robb return? The old gods find his warg soul trapped in Grey Wind and put it back into a body, a new body, the body of a dead Stark. And this is where things get wild. The old gods aren't like the Lord of Light. They don't have priests. They don't demand prayers. They just watch through the Weirwoods. And they've been watching House Stark for 8,000 years. They've seen the Long Night, the Andal invasion, the Targaryen conquest. Every Stark who ever lived, the old gods remember. So when Robb Stark died, the old gods didn't forget. They waited, watched, and when the time was right, they offered him a choice. Stay in the wolf, live as a beast, or return, but as something more. And Robb chose to return. But here's the thing. The old gods are stern. They don't give second chances for free. They wanted something from Robb. A price. And that price, that's the twist nobody sees coming. Because when Robb opened his eyes in the heart of a Weirwood grove, he wasn't alone. Someone was waiting for him. His mother.
But not the mother he remembered. Stoneheart. And the moment he saw her, Robb understood the old god's price. He was brought back for one thing. And by the time we're done, you'll see why that price was the most brilliant plot point George R.R. Martin ever wrote. Catelyn Stark was thrown in a river. Her body was dragged downstream, and the Freys threw her in naked, like garbage. Beric Dondarrion found her body, gave her the kiss of life, but the cost? The cost was everything. Beric had to give up pieces of his own soul to bring her back, and by the time he did, there was almost nothing left of him. So he passed the kiss of life to her, and she lived, but as something unrecognizable. Lady Stoneheart. A corpse with a mission. No face, no warmth, just hate. Pure, focused, all-consuming hate. And for years, she's been hunting Freys. Hanging them. Ending them. But she's never been satisfied. Because one person is missing. Her son. The one who started the war. The one who married Talisa. The one who broke his oath to the Freys. The one she died for. And when Robb walks out of the Weirwood Grove, alive, breathing, changed, Stoneheart feels it. She doesn't speak. She just stares. And Robb stares back. And for the first time in years, Lady Stoneheart cries. But then, something changes. She grabs Robb, pulls him close. We have work to do. And this is where the old god's price becomes clear. They didn't bring Robb back to be a good king. They brought him back to be a weapon of revenge. And Stoneheart, she's his handler. But wait, what about Grey Wind? Where's the direwolf? Here's the part that changes everything. When Robb's soul went into Grey Wind at the Red Wedding, the bond deepened. The old gods didn't just move Robb's soul back to a body. They upgraded it. Grey Wind's soul, the wolf itself, came back too. When the Freys killed Grey Wind's body, his soul went to the Weirwood. The old gods stored it, waited. And now, the soul of the king in the north and the soul of the largest direwolf in centuries are bonded forever. Grey Wind comes back, but not as a normal direwolf, as a weapon. The wolf is now summoned by Robb. He appears when needed, fights with terrifying precision. And most importantly, Grey Wind is unkillable. You can cut him, burn him, but the soul returns to the Weirwoods, heals, and comes back. The king in the north has an immortal bodyguard, a soul-bound direwolf that can never truly die. And the Freys, the Boltons, the Lannisters, they have nothing that can stop him. Now comes the part fans have dreamed about for a decade, the revenge. Robb doesn't march an army south. He doesn't siege castles. He's not a traditional king anymore. He's something else. He is the army. Grey Wind is the siege engine. One by one, the Freys disappear. A Frey lord found torn apart in his bedchamber. Another pulled into the river by something unseen. They start to panic, but it's too late. Then, the Boltons. Ramsay. The man who flayed the North. The man who betrayed Robb's entire family. Robb doesn't kill Ramsay quickly. No. The old gods wouldn't allow that. They're not merciful. They're just. Grey Wind finds Ramsay in the woods, and for hours, the screams echo through the Wolf's Wood. When it's over, there's nothing left. And through it all, Stoneheart watches. And for the first time since she died, she smiles. The price is paid. The betrayal is avenged. And now, Robb and Stoneheart have to decide, what's next? And here's where it gets complicated. Because while Robb was dead, Jon Snow was named king in the North. The North rallied behind him. So what happens when Robb comes back? Does he reclaim his crown? Does he kneel to Jon? Think about it. Robb was the king in the North first. Jon was just Lord Commander. The North bent the knee to Robb, not Jon. And Robb is a legend now. The king who returned. The man who avenged the Red Wedding. Jon Snow is just a bastard. A good man, but a bastard. So what does Robb do? Does he fight Jon for the crown?
Does he step aside? Or does he do something no one expects? And that is the most important question in all of Westeros right now. Because if Robb and Jon both want the crown, the North might tear itself apart. And Cersei? She wins. So here's the question. If Robb Stark came back today, who would he fight first? The Freys? The Lannisters? Or Jon Snow for the crown? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want to see what happens when Robb meets Daenerys, hit subscribe, because that video is going to break the internet. Subscribe now. I'll see you in the comments.